Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you are on the planet. This is Akelo Roberts, and you're listening to the Talking Football with Akelo Roberts podcast, distributed by LDG Sports Entertainment. Follow them on Twitter at LDG on Spotify. Shout out to the big homie Ryan, man. Once again, I'm back at it like mathematics with my big bro Ant, Anthony Roberts II. Ant, what's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I can't complain, man. It has been really cold these last few days. Uncharacteristically so for Miami, but I'm doing pretty well, man. All things considered.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying good. Yeah, it's about 10, 15 degrees up here right now, but the wind chill is like 5. But
Yo, that is crazy.
yeah, as you can see, that's why I have the beach behind me to kind of get me in the thought process of it's warm.
Damn, and I thought 55 was cold. Yep. But yeah, man, get it, man. We just gonna get into these games, man. This past week slate. The first game was, I believe, it was Bengals versus Titans. Game for the ages. we saw. I think me and you both agreed last week that like, yo, Tennessee's a better team. We know Ryan Tannehill from his Miami days. And Ryan Tannehill was gonna do Ryan Tannehill things. And that's exactly what he did last week. So what are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought Ryan Tannehill did Ryan Tannehill things. I mean, I found it real funny that people thought that he was going to lead into a victory. When, I mean, anybody with clear eyes who could really look at that team will see, that team is all about running the ball. It's all about Derrick Henry and that Foreman kid who's toting the rock with Derrick Henry out. And I felt like Joe Burrow is a way better quarterback. I knew they were going to get to Joe Burrow, but I still felt like Joe Burrow is clutch. Well, I felt like Joe Burrow would deliver, and he did because, quite frankly, he was playing Ryan Tannehill. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
I know who Ryan Tannehill is. I'm a Miami Dolphin fan. I've seen him play for 6, 7 years with my Miami Dolphin team. Every single year, it's the same thing. He left Miami not knowing. He left Miami, and fans in Miami still don't know if he's good or not. I mean, this is like his third year with Tennessee, and people still don't know if he's good or not. If it takes 8 years for you to find out to see if he's good or not, then they're not a good quarterback. They're not a good player. You know what I mean? So Ryan Tannehill, and they lost, and they're home. That Jamar Chase Joe Burrow connection is something lethal, and just the way that Joe Burrow just leads the team and the moxie and everything about him, man. He's a winner. He's a winner. I think a lot of people say, how is he this good? He doesn't have any exceptional traits, like physical traits from the quarterback position. Doesn't have a strong arm. His accuracy isn't like this and that. But I just think if you watch that guy play, he's a winner, just like Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't have the strongest arm, his accuracy was, you know what I mean? All these different things. But it's just some players, man. Like, he's picked number 1 for a reason. It's just some players. There's just like, I don't know what it is about this kid, but he can fling that football. And Joe Burrow can fling that football.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't a Joe Burrow believer. When I watched him at LSU, everybody was raving about how great he was. I was like, yo, this guy had NFL players all over the offense. So, I mean, how good can he really be? Yeah, man. He went to Cincinnati. He shut me the hell up.
Yeah, listen, I still wasn't a Joe Burrow guy, even at LSU, because I remember the year before when he was at LSU, they played Miami in the kickoff classic. They played the Miami Hurricanes, and they almost lost.
I remember that.
And he looks terrible. He looks terrible. And throughout that entire year at LSU, his first year at LSU, it was just like, yo, he is terrible. He's not good. He did not look good. And then he spent that spring and that summer throwing with those receivers and developing, that camaraderie. And then it turned into what LSU turned into, and he's just riding that wave, man. I just like I just love the supreme confidence from him. Um, and what we're seeing with Josh Allen, with that KC game, that's the same kind of confidence that Joe Burrow has. You just see it, like when you look at a player like that, like you just look at them and they look at you and they tell you we're going to win. Like he has that characteristics. I don't know what it is, man. You just get goosebumps, man. You know, watching Joe Burrow play and seeing that confidence from him. So yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say once again, what you said, I was crazy. Like Ryan Tannehill, this is his 10th season. We still don't know if he's good or not. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Let that sink in. We still don't know if he's good or not. And this is his 10th year.
Bro, Ryan Tannehill is like Jeff Garcia, bro.
Yeah. Not just that, he played wide receiver at Texas A&M for like his first 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
so that leads us into the next that Saturday night game, which was San Fran and Green Bay. And I've never seen a player lose and America collectively just laugh in his face more than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, and he deserves it all. He deserves all the laughs. He deserves all the people laughing in his face. He deserves it all. Just because of the things that he said off the field, the whole cancel culture and this, that, and the third. It's just the funniest shit when someone calls cancel culture, right? He's calling cancel culture, right? But he's being interviewed on ESPN. How are you being canceled? Yeah. You're having a 1-hour interview on ESPN, but you're being canceled. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. So we're trying to cancel you, but you're the one who has a 1-hour interview on ESPN. You're the one who's going on the podcast every week to talk about how you talk about things, but you're being canceled.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he I was a big Aaron Rodgers fan going in to this game, even with all the stuff that he's been saying and doing. But after watching this game and seeing how he played, my goodness, man, he's not clutch at all. He's just not good in the playoffs. He reminds me, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, "You know who Aaron Rodgers is?" I'm going to tell you exactly who Aaron Rodgers is. And he said, "Who?" And I said, "Aaron Rodgers is Carmelo Anthony. Good offensive player, good in the regular season, but he can't play in the playoffs. He chokes in the playoffs. He's not good in the playoffs." That's who Aaron Rodgers is. He's Carmelo Anthony. That's who he is, Carmelo Anthony. And if you think about it, that one Super Bowl win he had, take a look at the stats. Take a look at who they played. I mean, in the NFC Championship game against the Bears, take a look at who he played. It wasn't Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler was on the bike. Remember, because he pulled the hamstring or he messed up his knee.
Yeah, you playing Caleb Haney.
You're playing Caleb Haney. So think about that. Yeah, he I think, I know Stephen A. Smith talked about he's a bad man, this, that, and the third, but I think we're going to have to come to a conclusion, come to an agreement that him and Tom Brady are cut from different cloths, just totally different, man. Tom Brady is the GOAT. Tom Brady is cycle time. Tom Brady is Michael Jordan. He
really is.
He's Carmelo Anthony. That's exactly who he is. That's exactly who he is.
To be fair though, Aaron Rodgers did like at least get it done. He did at least win one ring.
Yeah, but like I said, take a look at who he beat to get there. He beat Caleb Haney. I mean, seriously. I mean, let's take a look at that. I mean, we should take a look at who these guys are playing, particularly him, who he's playing to get into the Super Bowl. You know, and I get it. Yeah, he played Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl, and he won that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, take a look at the team around him. He had a nice squad around him. So yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is whole. I think he's very overrated. I think he's not clutch. That game on Saturday night did a lot of damage to his legacy as far as being an all-time greats. All-time greats, listen to this. All-time greats don't lose to Jimmy Garoppolo. all-time greats don't lose to a quarterback who closes his eyes and throws the ball that becomes an interception, like Jimmy Garoppolo. You don't lose to Jimmy Garoppolo if you're an all-time great. And yeah, it. Listen, if I was a Packer fan, I would say good riddance. I would say good riddance, man, because you held the gun to this franchise all last off season, saying how the team didn't listen to you, they don't do this for you, this, that, and the third. And then you went out on Saturday and laid a fucking egg. Like, dude, you stink. Like, come on. And then not just that, he had a lot of empty calorie yards. A lot of empty calories. A lot of empty calorie yards that he was getting. Those checkdowns, those playing it safe. He was checked down Charlie and got some empty calorie yards, man. Got a whole lot of empty calorie yards. Like, and he reminded me his play on Saturday reminded me of another NFC quarterback who's the anti-calorie king, and his name is Dak Prescott. One Dakota Rain Prescott. He gets empty calories too. That's exactly what Aaron Rodgers was doing, man. And he just looked, he's not clutch, man. Him and Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes, they're cut from different cloths. Aaron Rodgers is not it. If I was the Packer fans, I'd be telling Aaron, man, it's time for you to go, bro. Like, leave and try to see what's going on with Jordan Love. Maybe pick a quarterback in the second round, figure something out. But I would try. I would start a rebuild personally.
Hey, so personally, I was going to say two things. You talking about great players don't lose to Jimmy Garoppolo. Tom Brady lost to Nick Foles a few years ago.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Tom Brady went out fighting. Take a look at the game. Tom Brady passed for 500 yards in that game. Think about that. And like 4 touchdowns. Think about that. Tom Brady.
Philly's corners were Eric Rowe and Devontae Maddox, right? That's easy.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. When it came down to it, Tom Brady was slinging that football. This past Sunday, when they played LA, we can get into LA. We can get to the Tampa Bay LA game right now to recap this game. Tampa Bay LA won, but man, I can guarantee you, everybody across the entire world thought if Tom Brady gets this ball back, they're gonna win the game because the Rams was choking before our very eyes. He was choking, and Tom Brady put the fear of God inside everybody on that Rams bench. Like, oh my God, he's about to do it again. He's about to falcon them. You know, he's about to falcon them. Like, yo, he was down 28. He about to falcon them. He came this close to falconing them. But yeah, man, Tom Brady lost the first half. They were getting demolished. But the difference between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers is Tom Brady went out saying, fuck it, I'm just slinging this rock. And I'm a will this team to a victory. And damn it, he almost pulled it off, man. Almost pulled it off. Not just that, he almost pulled it off with a train wreck of Antonio Brown, just demolishing the entire season, with the other receiver out with a torn ACL, with so many injuries. He's missing 3 offensive linemen, like all these different things.
I mean, to be fair, no one had an excuse for Patrick Mahomes last year in the Super Bowl.
I agree. I totally agree with you about that. But these are some of the same things that Tom Brady was dealing with, and damn it, he almost pulled it off. You know what I mean? Like, he was down 25, 23, 3 at halftime, but damn it, you knew with them going into the half and them coming out that second half, it was going to be a fight. And damn it, it was a fight, man. It was a fight. It was a fight. I mean, me personally, I hope Tom Brady comes back for one more year with a healthier team, without Antonio Brown nonsense. Antonio Brown just completely backstabbed Tom Brady. So yeah, I would like him to come back for one more year. Really, and I want him to come back for one more year, really, and for him to have his Kobe Bryant moment, for him to have his Dwayne Wade moment, where everybody knows, him say, yeah, I'm coming back for one more year, and this is my last year. So I want him to have his swan song. So each game he plays, the opposing team fans, can clap him up. You know what I'm saying? They can give him, what I'm saying, certain things. I want him to have the swan song season. So I think this would be a perfect time for him to do that. And I think next year, if they come back, bring back the team, bring back some more offensive weapons, I think he'd be right back to where he was starting out again this year, back in the playoffs and try to make another run.
Yeah, I mean, you talking about a farewell tour. Most fans of other teams hate Tom Brady. So I mean, you're talking about cheers and stuff. They're gonna boo him and give him middle finger, bro.
Yeah, I get that. But here's the thing, though. The thing about sports fans, we don't like you when you're playing. We don't like you when you're in your prime. We only love you when it's your last final season. That's when we love you, and not just that. Fans, it doesn't matter who it is. We recognize greatness. And me, I'm a Dolphin fan. Tom Brady dominated my division, the AFC East. I call it the AFC least. He dominated the AFC least for over what 18 years. But I recognize greatness, and I want to clap for greatness. And, tip the hat to it. So I think fans recognize that. Fans recognize when they're in a moment in time, when they're in a moment of sports history. Because I don't think we'll never see another quarterback like Tom Brady to be an ultimate winner. 7 Super Bowls, when we'll never ever see that again.
Okay. What was I gonna say? I don't know, bro. Honestly, I believe very much call it quits this year. We'll see. You got any thoughts on Matthew Stafford?
Uh, he did what he had to do. I mean, everybody was expecting him to choke going into the game, and the team looked like they started to choke. But he held the ship together. He held the crew together, and he did what he had to do. I mean, he made the game-winning throw. He made a clutch throw. So that's all I can ask him. I mean, he was the number 1 pick. So yeah.
That was crazy. That dude has made like 200 million in his career, and he's only missed playoffs like twice.
I know.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Moving on. Next game, arguably the greatest game of all time, greatest playoff game of all time. Kansas City Chiefs defeat the Buffalo Bills in overtime. Offense everywhere, touchdowns everywhere. The 2 best quarterbacks in the game right now went head to head. Kansas City emerged victorious. What are your thoughts? I want to say real quick. My first thought was that I saw people crying, talking about, oh, they're going to change the overtime rules, man. Josh Allen got a chance to go score. Or maybe Buffalo defense should be sorry. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, Buffalo had the number 1 defense. So football is a team sport. It's offense, defense, and special teams. Your defense should have stopped Pat Mahomes. It's not the rules. It's a complete game. Like, I mean, so many times, we think, oh, it's quarterback versus quarterback. No, it's quarterback versus that team's defense and what they can do. And I would say, listen, the degree of difficulty was much higher for Pat Mahomes than it was for Josh Allen. Just think about it. KC, they lost Honey Badger. The pass rush for KC really wasn't getting there. They were getting there in spots, but Jared Allen was really just like flinging them off, man. Jared Allen was Jared Allening. You know what I mean? Josh Allen, Jared Allen. Josh Allen was Josh Allening. You know what I mean? But I think the degree of difficulty was much higher for Pat Mahomes with the number 1 defense, with that pass rush, with those 2 safeties, with those corners, all those things. I just think that the degree of difficulty was much tougher for Pat Mahomes. I think, change the whole overtime rules, this, that, and the third. Listen, KC was victims of the same rule during Pat Mahomes' second year, his first year starting, but his second year in the league. And KC in the offseason went to the competition committee and tried to change the rules. Nobody voted for it. Nobody voted for it. KC went and tried to get the rules changed. Nobody voted for it, including Buffalo. They didn't vote for it. Now all of a sudden, people are saying, "Oh yeah, we should change the rules because Josh Allen deserved to have the ball." Like, no, it's a team sport. Josh Allen's defense should have stopped Pat Mahomes. It's a team. Listen. The NFL already make the game that much more advantageous for quarterbacks. Already does that. So we're now going to make it even that much more important for quarterbacks to have the ball when it's a team game. Like, you know what I mean? It's a team game. So Buffalo's defense should have stopped them. They didn't stop them. Simple as that. I mean, Kansas City's not at fault for Buffalo allowing a 6'7" Terminator running through their DBs to catch the pass of Travis Kelce. You know what I mean? That's not Casey's problem. That's Buffalo's problem. That's Leslie Frazier. That's Leslie Frazier and the defensive call. That's not Kansas City's problem. That's Buffalo's defense. So if you want anything fixed, fix your defense. Fix your DC to call the correct play. Fix your head coach to do a squib kick. Like, fix all these things. You know what I mean? And if you think about it, when they kicked the ball for the field goal to tie the game, it was at 9 seconds. So he only needed 9 seconds to get in field goal range. Think about that. 9 seconds to get in field goal range. If you only need 9 seconds to get in field goal range, then you should be taking a look at your defense, because there's no way. And this is one thing for Sean McDermott that people will probably understand. Like, I would kick it deep too, because who the hell would think you're going to score a field goal in 13 seconds from the 25-yard line? That's impossible.
Really?
It ain't impossible with Pat Mahomes. You know what I mean? So yeah, Andy Reid said, when things get grim, be the Grim Reaper. You know what I mean? So you can't get more grim, you can't get more soul taken than what he did. And from speaking to some of the players in the team, he said that when they had 13 seconds left, he said on the sideline, Pat Mahomes ran to the kicker and told the kicker to get ready to kick the field goal. Just that supreme confidence by him. Like, he was just like, yo, I witnessed it. He told the kicker, get ready. Just to have that confidence. And it was just like, and when it happened, he was just like in total shock. Because he said his quarterback in college was just like, man, that's a loss. Knowing who his quarterback was in college. I don't want to say any names, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was a shock to everybody. That's the greatest playoff game, I think, in NFL history. The only way I see them changing the overtime rules, the NFL does, is not from pressure from fans, not from pressure from Buffalo or from other teams, but from money, advertising dollars, advertising, more viewers. That's the only way.
Yeah, everything is about the bottom line.
Everything's about the bottom line. Everything is about the bottom line. So yeah, Pat Mahomes, man. Pat, I think Tom Brady's the GOAT. Okay. And he's Jordan in cleats. I think Pat Mahomes he's LeBron James, man. Big, fat, fast, can throw. Pat Mahomes is a total package, man. And yeah, man, it's ridiculous. And listen, I think Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen, man, they're going to have a lot of years of playing these games, man, mano a mano. And I think, Pat Mahomes came out victorious on this end. But I think in the years to come, I foresee Josh Allen winning a few of these games, because think about, Pat Mahomes' weapons. As they get older, they're going to have to replace Tyreek Hill one day. They're going to have to replace Travis Kelce one day. You know what I mean? Because Pat Mahomes is younger than both of those guys, So they're going to have to replace those guys one day, particularly when Pat Mahomes, his contract, his cap number gets higher each year. You know what I mean? They're going to have to find cheaper and cheaper talent. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and listen, man, I told you last week, man, Josh Allen, the truth. I told you. And, man, did he put on a show. Him on the sideline leading that team. You saw him saying three. We got 3 times when Pat Mahomes scored the touchdown. The cameras panned to him, and you saw him talking to his team saying, "Yo, we got 3 timeouts. We got 3 timeouts. We good. Like, just that confidence, man. And then when he scored that touchdown, when they were up by 3 with 13 seconds left, you saw him on the sideline. Yo, man, he was so crunk. You saw him like screaming, like, yeah, like I'm like, oh my goodness. As a defensive player or as an offensive player, how could you not play for a leader like Josh Allen? The goosebumps. Listen, I don't even play for Buffalo, and I would have ran through a wall for him on Sunday night. And I don't play for Buffalo, and I would have ran through a wall for him for free. just to say Josh Allen is, you know what I'm saying, is my teammate. He's a good leader. Just the stuff that he did. My goodness.
I just want to say also one thing. They were both. Yeah, Josh Allen played valiantly in defeat. Pat Mahomes played extraordinarily. Gabriel Davis went off. He had a day for the ages. I don't want to say. Both teams' secondaries are pitiful. My goodness, that was some of the worst secondary play I've ever seen in my life. Yo.
I ain't gonna front, man. Listen, man, I don't like talking about. Listen, man, it was some ankles being broken out there, man.
Yo,
for KC's defensive. I just leave it at this. They missed the Honey Badger a lot. Because I felt like the Honey Badger would get them in the right spot. The Honey Badger, he's a very, he's a very brain player too. You know what I mean? He's an intelligent player, putting guys in the right spots, those kinds of things. Particularly, there was one touchdown where they lined up wrong, and Josh Allen took advantage of it. And I know for a fact, if Honey Badger was there, that would not have happened. But yeah, man, that was some very, very bad defensive backfield play by both teams on Sunday night. My God, man. Gabriel Davis, man, when he crossed that corner and that corner fell down.
Mike Hughes.
Oh, my God. You calling out names?
That was the most embarrassing. Yes, I'm calling out names. That was the most embarrassing display of, bruh, God is my witness. Y'all know I love football to death. I have never played a down of organized football. But even I know to always watch your receiver's hips. Yo, how you get crossed over? That nigga got hit with the AI, bro, with the two-step.
And then when Gabriel Davis scored, you saw like the camera pans like the whole DB field. They look like this with their hands out, looking at him like, dude, what happened?
Yeah.
he got his ankles. His Achilles on the field over there. That's what happened. His ligaments on the 20-yard line. That's what happened. My goodness. And listen, man. I don't like picking on players, man, because they made it to the league. You know what I'm saying? It's already a tough sport. Particularly DBs is a tough sport. The offense, they changed the rules for the offense to win a lot more, particularly with DBs. So DBs are having to cover up a lot more ground now. It's a lot more tougher. I mean, we saw Jalen Ramsey get beat this past week.
Yeah, for real.
And he's the best corner, you know what I mean, in the league. But I said a lot to say though, man. Mike Hughes, man, he was getting torched this year, man. He was getting torched this entire year. And I know he's a former first round pick. He has some return ability. he's pretty fast too, man. I don't know what it is because he's fast. He he's a good man type corner, but he was just getting torched a whole lot this year. I don't know why, and I think I thought he was a pretty good corner. The other corners, to me, they look more big than fast. They look more big as far as being okay. They're 6', 6'1", 200 pounds. They look like 4 or 5 guys, or if they're not, or if they're like 4'3", 4'4" guys, they play like they're 4 or 5 guys, 4 or 5, 4 or 6 guys, particularly number 38.
Algerian Sneed.
Yeah, they play and 35 due to an extent too. They may be fast, but 40 speed and playing speed is two different things. So they play kind of slow. So there's a lot of times where I'm seeing them getting, when it comes to the speedier receivers, it's like, man, what's going on? And you could say, yeah, well, Stephon Diggs got locked up. One of them must have did something, but they had bracket coverage on him the whole night. That's why Gabriel Davis went off.
Yeah.
So
what's it called? I don't know about Charvarius Ward, but I know LJ Sneed ran 4.3. But yeah.
he doesn't play fast, then, man. He just doesn't play fast.
Last year, 2020 was his rookie season. He was way better in 2020 than this year. I don't know. I don't know what happened this year.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, I have no clue, man. I think they have a lot of athletes, but I don't think they have a true shutdown corner who can like travel with somebody. Every team has at least one corner they believe in, so they can really cover someone. I don't think out of the starters that they have someone on the field who can do that. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie though. This year, like I think, like according to PFF, I think Rashad Fenton was like the second best corner in the league.
Yeah, I see it. I see him playing pretty good. I see him playing a lot of man. They have another first rounder on the team too, DeAndre Baker, but he looks kind of slow when he plays, and I think he times slow too.
Yeah, he is. He's like mid 4.5.
Yeah, and he's not the biggest guy in the world. So if you're small, you got to be fast. You can't be small and be a 4 or 5 guy, because they can just get a big guy and play corner who runs a 4 or 5 too as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. But yeah, good games, man. Really, really good games this weekend. And listen, the quarterbacks of this past weekend, the NFL is in really, really, really good hands. As far as the AFC, the NFC, that's a different story. I mean, as far as the NFC quarterbacks, who the NFL can like build their game around, the ones who are balling right now, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, Trey Lance, who was a rookie this year, and Jordan Love. I mean, out of all those names in the NFC, like as of right now, and I'm saying like players who are like under 30. I'm not talking about like a Derek Carr who's like in like year 8 or year 9. I'm talking about guys who are going to be playing for like the next 10 years, who we think are going to be playing for like the next 7, 8 years. So those are some of the guys that I pinpointed in the NFC who I see as being like, okay, these guys can be potential like, okay, NFC guys.
Yeah.
As far as being young. I mean, out of that group in the NFC, the only one who I really see like being a guy is maybe Kyler Murray and a Justin Fields. I still don't trust Trey Lance. I haven't seen enough of him. And Jordan Love, I mean, the Packers already let us know what they think about him. They want Aaron Rodgers to return. And Jalen Hurts can't throw. He couldn't throw at Alabama. That's why they benched him and put him Tua for the championship game when Tua threw the touchdown to win the game against UGA. What 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, like 2017, 2018.
Yeah. So
hey, real quick, let's talk about Jordan Love real quick. Aaron Rodgers just came out and said, like either yesterday or 2 days ago, he does not want to be part of the rebuild. So it probably is Jordan Love season.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna see if he's good or not. We're gonna see if the Packers made a stupid decision by trading up and trying to pick him. We're gonna see. I mean, I don't know. Now, as far as future quarterbacks for the AFC, my goodness, the AFC is loaded. As you can see, you wonder why Tom Brady, when he left the Patriots, he went to the NFC because those names of the names I just sent of the names I just told you. Obviously, we have an Aaron Rodgers, but he's an older quarterback. These are just quarterbacks who are young. But yeah, as far as the AFC, I mean, Justin Herbert didn't even make the playoffs. You got Justin Herbert, you got Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Baker Mayfield, Zach Wilson, and Tua. So you legitimately, no lie, you could legitimately, looking at that list, you could legitimately have within the next 5 years. We don't know what's going to happen with this year's draft class or next year, or the only like true like blue chip player within the next 4 years. In the next 4 years, who we can say, oh, they're going to be a generational talent like an Andrew Luck, as of right now, because they would be juniors or seniors right now in high school. There's only one, and that's Arch Manning. That's it. Unless a junior or senior in high school now develops into that 4 or 5 years from now, like, oh man, this guy's the number one pick. Did you see what he did? Mm-hmm. But as of right now, there's only one junior senior player in high school right now that we know about, and that's Arch Manning. Obviously, there were some guys last year, like blue chippers last year, like Quinn Ewers, who went to Ohio State, then transferred to Texas. But as far as within the next 5-6 years, I mean, that's the cream of the crop right there. Herbert, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson. And the other ones, Trevor Lawrence needs to develop, Mac Jones. I'm still a Mac Jones fan. Tua, I'm a Dolphin fan. I think Tua was kind of pigeonholed by Brian Flores a little bit. I think we shouldn't have fired Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores never got the OC job correct. He never hired the right OC for Tua. Deshaun Watson, we know what's going on with him. Zach Wilson, I've seen a little bit of him play this year. I think Zach Wilson, man, I'm gonna need him to be a little bit more. I don't know, man. He just seems like a kid. That's what it is. He seems like a kid. And then Baker is Baker. I don't think Baker's good personally, but I mean, the media's always going to pub him up. You know what I mean? So that's and then Trevor Lawrence. We're going to see what Trevor Lawrence does within the next 2-3 years. But I'm predicting though is within the next 5-6 years. I think obviously so. In the next 7 years, I think this is going to be Herbert, Mahomes. This is my prediction for the next 7 years in the AFC. It's going to be Herbert, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and I can't even put Deshaun Watson up there because I don't know if he's going to play again, and I don't know who's going to trade for him. I think the unknown for me. So those are the 5: Herbert, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. The unknowns is Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Baker Mayfield, Tua, Deshaun Watson, and Zach Wilson. I think those are the unknowns. And obviously, I mean, people are pumping up Arch Manning so much, pumping him up so much about how good he's going to be. Maybe in 7 years. I think in 7 years he would be what? So 7 what? So senior, freshman, sophomore, junior. So in 7 years he'd be a third-year player. Because he has one more season in high school. Then he's going to play three years in college. And he may or may not. I think he's only going to play 3, though. And then the 3 more is 7. So, I mean, that's what it's looking like. You know what I mean? That's who I think. And for me, I think the gold standard is going to be Mahomes, Josh Allen, and I think Joe Burrow.
I just want to say, 50 list. Some of the players you have on your list, man, but kid, some of the players you have on your list, like the guys you don't know if they're going to be successful or not. I think some of them have the tools to be successful. I just think that they got sent to really bad situations and they got sent to losing cultures. Most of them, right? That's what I think. Deshaun Watson, he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. So his future is a little cloudy.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hey man, we really broke it down, man. Really nothing else I can really say.
Yeah.
But moving on, we're gonna go to some this week conference championship teams. We're gonna go with the first game. I think the first game is gonna be on Niners and Rams. Thoughts?
This is tough. This is tough. As I told you last week, defense and a running game travels real well in the playoffs. If you can play good defense and you can run the ball, that travels very well during the playoffs. San Fran, they can run the ball and they play good defense. So that will be traveling with them down to LA. And unfortunately, Jimmy Garoppolo is also going to be traveling down with them to LA. And
Facts.
I'm just going to have to say, man, I think the Rams are going to pull it out. I think the Rams are going to pull it out 28-17. I think as far as the NFC, the Super Bowl this year, I think the LA Rams, they pushed all their chips into the center of the table. They were all in this year after going for Matthew Stafford, the Von Miller, the OBJ. I think they just pushed their chips in the center table, and I think this is the year to get back to the Super Bowl. Now, will they win it? Depending on who they play. But I think the Rams are going to be able to pull it out, and the Rams are going to be able to beat the 49ers 28-17. I think Garoppolo, I think a lot of the plays. So the past two games the 49ers have played, no team has really capitalized on Jimmy G's mistakes. Yeah, Dallas did to an extent, but you still lost to Jimmy G. You know what I mean? So how much capitalization did you do? The Packers, they didn't really capitalize on Jimmy G. So I think the LA Rams, I think they will capitalize on some of the mistakes Jimmy G will make as far as throwing the ball and his decision making. So yeah, I think the LA is going to win 28-17. I'm predicting obviously a big game by Cooper Kupp. I think OBJ is going to have a touchdown. I think the running game, I think Cam Akers is he's gonna control the clock running the ball, just like how he did with the Bucks. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of yards, but he had a lot of attempts. He had 24 attempts. So they were trying to control the ball as much as possible. And people think of the coach of the Rams as being like pass the ball around, around the field, but he's more of a power running guy that set up the pass. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're, Cam Akers is going to be able to get his yards here and there. But I think ultimately the Rams are going to, they're still going to win the game. So yeah, 28-17 Rams.
Okay. I just want to say, man, if I see the Niners do what they did last week, as far as playing extremely stingy defense and basically just forcing the ball to Deebo Samuel, I think the Rams are gonna. I think the Rams are gonna. The Rams are gonna be tough. The Rams are gonna have a tough opponent. Mixing George Kittle with that. The other receivers, I think the Rams might be in trouble. But however, gotta take into account the Rams offense is great. They got like you said already. They got OBJ, Van Jefferson. They still got Robert Woods, right? Yeah, Robert Woods.
Yeah, but he's out there with torn ACL.
Oh shoot, that's right. Yeah, so scratch that. No Robert Woods.
But listen. I think even with George Kittle and Deebo Samuel and all that, the passing game, I think the Rams pass rushers are going to get to Jimmy Garoppolo. So that's going to affect a lot of those seam passes that George Kittle likes to do. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a lot of short passes just because I think Shanahan, the head coach for the Niners, she's going to want to try to, eliminate that pass rush with the short passing game.
Yep.
But I think he's going to want to have, a few seam strikes with George Kittle up the seam. And I think that's when Aaron Donald and Von Miller is going to be able to get to Jimmy Garoppolo, with those 4 and 5 step drops to hit the seam with Kittle or Deebo Samuel. I think that's when they'll get to him. I think that's when Jimmy Garoppolo, a fumble or a forced interception, something like that's going to happen.
True. I agree, bro. I agree. And yeah, man, that's what I want to touch on that, man. But yeah, on the other hand, though, if the Rams they really open the playbook up, I think it could be Browns over Baghdad, man. I think the Rams can make it ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But, right now, I'm leaning 80-20 towards Rams right now.
Okay.
Next game, I want to say this game was going to be an easy Chiefs win, but then I remember they just lost to the Bengals in like week 16 or something.
Yeah, that loss cost them home field advantage, but they didn't really need it because nobody really trusted Tennessee anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, Tennessee had Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, and Ryan Tannehill, he Tannehilled.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, man. I believe that the Chiefs should make easy work of the Bengals because I think I think that Mahomes is gonna we're gonna see playoff Mahomes, playoff Cheetah, playoff Kelsey. But at the same time, man, Chiefs secondary is pitiful, bro.
I agree with all that you just said. The Chiefs secondary is pitiful. I think Joe Burrow is going to be passing to Jamar Chase left and right, passing to T. Higgins left and right. But his O-line is shitty. He about to get sacked like 20 times. Yo, the only person who survived 9 hits was 50 Cent. Him and 50. Like, come on. Like, think about that. Think about that. He got sacked 9 times.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, him and 50 should be boys. They both survived 9 hits. Like, come on, 9 hits to the body. He survived 9 times. Come on, man. Like, I think ultimately, Joe Burrow's going to put up some points, but I think ultimately, I think KC's front 4, Jones, Frank Clark, Jaron Reed, Melvin Ingram, who's being beast mode. I think they're going to get after Joe Burrow's ass. I mean, he got sacked 9 times, and I think their O-line coach, he's going to try his best to coach him up this week, but you can't coach up trash, and their O-line is trash.
Oh man, trust me, I'm a Nebraska fan. I know.
So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think ultimately the hits to Joe Burrow and the sacks to Joe Burrow, it's just going to get to him. And I think the home field advantage is really, really important for KC. And I think, listen, KC's on a mission. They just beat Buffalo, and they lost to Cincinnati just 3 weeks prior. And they're on a mission to say, you know what, man, we should not have lost to this team. And they're on a mission to get their vengeance back against this team. And I think they're going to I think it's going to be KC 35, Cincinnati 24.
Okay. I like that.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. I just think Arrowhead at night is gonna be too much for Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now listen, I predict Jamar Chase may have close to 200 yards receiving too now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I just think, the end is just too much for them to overcome. And I think they are going to run the ball like hard with old boy from Oklahoma. What's his name? The running back from Oklahoma,
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. They're going to run the ball hard with him because that's a big dude.
Yeah.
So they're going to pound the ball with him a lot to try to like soften up that that Chiefs pass rush. But I think ultimately Pat Mahomes is on a mission, man, and yeah, man. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's it for prediction, man. Let's go to a Whopper that dropped, I think, yesterday. Maybe yeah, I forgot. Time is going by fast, man. I'm getting old. But Sean Payton suddenly decides to retire in the game of football. Well, not from the game of football, at least from the New Orleans Saints. At least. My first thought is next year when Mike McCarthy gets fired by the Cowboys for going 8-9, watch out for Sean Payton being back on the scene again.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I think obviously Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, they like him. He came up under the Cowboys. The Cowboys with Bill, with Bill Parcells.
Mm-hmm.
I really think Jerry would fire Mike McCarthy right now if he was able to get Sean Payton scot free. But Sean Payton's under contract for 3 more years. So yeah, I think that'll be a little tough. I think next year, possibly. I think next year, Jerry may fire Mike McCarthy. I think he's going to give it 1 more year of Mike McCarthy, and then if it doesn't work, just try to get Sean Payton. Listen, I think Sean Payton's a very good coach. Offensively, I think he knows how to crack the whip with players. I think he knows how to be. I think he knows how to be a leader of men, a player with grown men. And I think he would be a really, really good hire, not just for the Cowboys, but for any team, really. I mean, if I was the Miami Dolphins, knowing that Sean Payton has worked with a noodle-arm quarterback in Drew Brees, and we got another noodle-arm quarterback, I would try to see, hey, man, I would try and kick the tires on that and see, what will work, what we can do. So yeah, but I think he's going to sit out for a year and then come out and then make his decision after that to whoever team is willing to trade for him. As far as the hirings, we're still waiting for the hirings to happen with a few teams. I just know the Giants. They hired the new GM from Buffalo, so everybody's expecting him to hire Brian Daboll because of the work that he's done with Josh Allen and the similarities between Josh Allen's game and Daniel Jones' game as far as being big and fast. Because Daniel Jones can fly too. Yeah. And he's big. He's 6'5", 230, 240. But I don't think Brian Daboll, I don't know, man. I've seen Brian Daboll in Cleveland as an OC. I've seen Brian Daboll in Miami Dolphins as an OC. I've seen Brian Daboll at Alabama. At some point, we have to realize, we have to vet, is it the coach or is it just the player getting good just because they're just that damn good? And we saw it with Adam Gase. Adam Gase kept on getting position after position because it's just like, he worked with Peyton Manning that 1 year when they had all those good offensive weapons. But yeah, he worked with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning would make anybody look good. You know what I mean? So, we'll see about Brian Daboll. As far as close, I think Byron Leftwich is the leading candidate for the Jags job. I think that would be a good hire. I think the past 2 years working with Tom Brady, I think he showed that he can. I think he showed that he could develop a quarterback. I think he would be a good pick for the franchise, for the fans. He was their quarterback. So I think that's a good pick. Obviously, Eric Bieniemy hasn't been hired yet. I think the 49ers, DC, DeMeco Ryans, I think he would be a perfect pick for Houston Texan. I mean, he's a franchise's all-time leader in tackles. I think he would be a good pick. lead Houston back to respectability. And I think those players will play hard for him too, knowing that he was in this locker room. So yeah, as far as the coaching, coaches, that's what I feel right now with the coaches.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree, man. But man, I saw Brian Daboll in Cleveland and Miami. My mind is I'm still I still have PTSD from watching Chad Henne and Matt Moore.
Oh my goodness!
Good God.
Listen. I still have PTSD too. Us throwing out the old remnants of Chad Pennington and Chad Henne, Matt Moore. Oh my goodness! Listen. The Miami Dolphins, my team, has been mired in quarterback mediocrity since Dan Marino retired in like 98 or 99.
99.
Which is
was after 99.
Yeah, like so brutal, man. So brutal.
Who are the QBs? Jay Fiedler, Dante Culpepper, Gus Frerotte, Cleo Lemon.
I thought you were gonna forget old Cleo. Call me now. I thought you were gonna forget Mr. Call me now, Miss Cleo.
John Beck. What's the name?
Don't forget my all-time favorite, Sage Rosenfels.
Yeah, Sage Rosenfels.
Oh my goodness.
Who else?
Don't forget another guy, Ray Lucas.
I don't know who that is. I'm too young for that.
Yeah, Ray Lucas.
What year is QB?
Probably in like 2000, 2001, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was a little too young for that. I'm not gonna lie, but I used to thought Jay Fiedler was kind of okay.
He was all right. I think we had like an 11-5 season with him at quarterback.
Yeah, but when I think about it, that was mostly because of Ricky Williams.
Yeah, but then we went to the playoffs and we played Jacksonville, and that's when Fred Taylor ran for like 1,000 yards on us in the game.
Hey, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all of the cruddy quarterbacks that we've had. Obviously, Chad Pennington. Who was it before Tua? Who? Ryan Tannehill. Jacoby Brissett.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, just think about that.
Fitzpatrick wasn't that bad.
Those are all mediocre quarterbacks. All mediocre quarterbacks.
I'm saying Fitzpatrick wasn't that bad.
Who knows?
Josh McCown.
Oh my gosh. Brutal. I think we may have even had a Luke in there too as well.
Luke, yeah. Did Luke McCown play for the Jaguars?
I think he played for the Jaguars too. Yeah.
I mean for Dolphins, but he did play for the Jaguars too.
Yeah. Who else was there? Who else?
Oh, I'm interested now. I'm gonna look this up. Hold up. Yeah. So, yeah, Dan Marino.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. And Dan Marino's last year. What happened to your thing? Oh yeah, no.
I just went out a little bit.
Yeah, no. Dan Marino's last year. I didn't realize he was hurt. Damon Huard started 5 games.
Damien Horde. Yeah. Good old Damien Horde.
Who else? Jay Fiedler.
Mm-hmm.
You said Ray Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Greasy.
We did have Brian Greasy. That's right.
AJ Feely.
I forgot AJ Feely. We gave him a lot of money too.
Yeah, I remember that. That's crazy. Gus Frerotte, I already said him.
Mm-hmm.
I said Dante Culpepper.
Mm-hmm.
I said Cleo Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Harrington.
Oh, we had Joey Harrington. That's right.
Trent Green.
We did have Trent. That's right. We had Trent Green too.
Uh, Tyler Thigpen.
I forgot Tyler from Western Carolina.
Yeah. And like a lot. Tyler Thigpen he was looking like kind of athletic. He was like hella fast. And bro, that's really it. Oh, bro, I forgot. They have Brock Osweiler for a little bit.
Oh yeah, we did have that statue back there. Oh my goodness.
You know what's crazy? Brock Osweiler is like one of the worst QBs in NFL history. He made like $55 million, something stupid like that.
Ball at the bank, just like Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
Ball at the bank.
I forgot. They had Josh Rosen for a little bit too.
We did have Josh Rosen. Yeah, that's right. We did have Josh Rosen.
Oh damn! Talk about a dude getting screwed at every corner.
Yeah.
Nobody want that nigga.
Yeah, man. That's pretty much about it.
That's pretty much about it. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, I was looking at the only QB. The worst QB in Dolphins history was well, they're tied. Yeah, 2-way tie. Well, I used to say 3-way tie. Bernie Kosar went 0-2 as a Dolphin starter back in the day.
What about Steve DeBerg?
Steve DeBerg.
That was before your time. This is like in the mid-90s. He was like 45 playing quarterback.
Okay.
With a cigarette out of his help, smoking a cigarette on the sideline.
What, for real? Oh God, he's a legend. That guy's a legend. John Beck.
I remember. Oh yeah, from BYU. That's right. Yeah. He was. I think we did say him that he was another one of those second round picks.
Now I was gonna say he went 0-4 as starting QB.
Yeah, he was picked doing the whole Cameron debacle.
Yeah. And then you had Trent Green went 0-5 as Dolphins QB.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Cleo Lemon went 1-7. And there's a few other guys here, but they were before my time. Oh, Josh Rosen was 0-3. Sage Rosenfeld was 0-2. Tyler Thigpen was 0-1. I have no clue who this guy is, but his name is hilarious. Dick Wood went 0-4.
I don't know. That's way before our time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm done, man. I'm tired of this, bro.
Yeah. I was
talking football with Akelo Roberts, people. Talking football with Akelo Roberts, ladies and gentlemen.
I got nothing else to say.
Anything else to say before we want to
go? Nothing, man. Just you seen the mediocrity I've had a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. And thanks for reminding me. I'm going to have PTSD now when I sleep again. I was already partially recovering when we drafted Tua. Now all of that terrible quarterback play for the past 20 years is flashing before my eyes. Brutal.
I just want to say, man. I mean, Tua is bad. But I mean, I still think he has low potential. I remember the draft class before. I was screaming at Dolphins to draft Dwayne Haskins.
And
they got Christian Wilkins instead. In hindsight, that was a great move, and that's the number one reason why I'm not an NFL GM.
Yeah, that was a great. Yeah, I wasn't a big Dwayne Haskins guy in college. So yeah, we just leave it at that. I never saw him as a leader. And you saw in the NFL, he was never a leader. So.
I mean, my God, even when Urban Meyer said he should stay another year in school, that should have been signed to everybody.
It should have.
Yeah.
It should have.
But yeah, man. Is there anything you want to say? Shout out anybody? Shout out anything?
Nah, man, that's pretty much about it, man. You know, just enjoying my time and looking forward to these games this weekend. And yeah, we're gonna recap next week and talk about, you know, the greatest NFL playoff game he ever saw, because I feel like since KC's going to be that. So we'll see. We'll see by next week.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Yeah. You saw 2 Chainz dropping a new album?
No.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out, I think, February 4th or something like that. It's called Dope Don't Sell Itself.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's my boy, man. 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz. I'm smoking on that hash. Life should be in your Cinemax movies. Okay.
That boy said his coupe was the same color as Akon.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's a black ass car.
He don't only rap who I knew changed their name in the middle part of their career and became bigger with the new name.
That is true. And a bunch of other old ass rappers try to do it after it all failed.
Yeah, it all failed. Yeah. So the only one. It works for Kanye West. It works for Jay-Z. Although Jay-Z is still known as Jay-Z, but he has nicknames, and you got Kanye instead of Kanye West, you got Ye. So yeah.
But Kanye is already like a billionaire already.
That's true.
What most famous people on earth? 2 Chainz.
That's true. He's the only rapper that I know of. Mm-hmm. Well, him and Drake, Kanye West, Drake, Kendrick Lamar. You want to know where I'm going with this because I'm saying their names. You're going to realize Kanye West, Drake, Kendrick Lamar. Those are the only rappers who use their real government names as their performing names.
That is true. That really is true.
Think about that. Kanye West.
Young Dolph. his real name is Adolf.
That's true. Which is a terrible name, by the way. Who the hell? Oh my goodness.
To be fair though, he was a junior, and his dad probably born in like 40s or 50s when that name was acceptable.
That's true. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Drake, Kanye West, and Kendrick Lamar. That's it. As far as rapper, you got Sean Combs, Diddy, but he goes by Diddy or Puff Daddy, so that don't count.
Big Sean. His real name is Sean.
Yeah, Shine.
Shine, the rapper?
What's his real name? That's not his real name.
His real name is like Jamal Woods or something.
Yeah, Jamal Woodard. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. So yeah, it's just those 3.
Yeah, that really is it. That's kind of crazy.
Travis Scott.
Nah, that's not even his real name.
What's his real name?
His real name is like Josh Webster or something.
I really thought it was his real name, Travis Scott. My goodness.
I don't even know where he got a name from. That's just like a random ass name.
I was gonna say, yep, but he's not a rapper though. Manny Fresh. Although he did try to rap. Although he tried to rap with him and Baby as Cash as big timers.
Yeah.
But he's more of a DJ. He's more of a producer, a record producer.
Yeah, that's not even his name anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just those 3, and then Big Sean. But it's big though in the middle of it. So
Quavo from the Migos, his real name is Quavius.
That's true.
Yeah. That's funny ass name, Quavius.
Yeah, I'll give him. Yeah, I'll give him that. I'll give Quavo that. So Quavo, Kanye West, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar.
I think,
that's it.
Oh, Chief Keef, the rapper, his real name is Keef.
I won't give him that.
Why not?
Because it's Chief first.
Oh.
Chief. I won't give him that. But I gotta go though. So
yeah. All right, man. Man. That was a podcast, man. Once again, talking football with Akelo Roberts, distributed by LDG Sports Entertainment. Follow them on Twitter at LDG on Spotify. Follow me on Twitter at Akelo Roberts. Follow the podcast on Twitter, Talking FB Pod, Talking FB POD. Follow me on Instagram at Kilo Roberts, which is just Akelo Roberts without the A. And follow my brother on Twitter at Anthony A. Roberts. I would say follow him on Instagram, but his page is private, so don't follow him. And yeah, man, support Black business. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Talking about Akelo Roberts, man. We're out of here. It's almost midnight on the East Coast. Actually, not. It is midnight. God damn. All right. Peace.